Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Shada binti Khalid, and today I'm going to present about photosynthesis. Definition of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process where it is conducted by green plant. The energy that the plant get from sunlight is being converted into CO2 and H2O into organic molecule that needed for growth. Light energy is being absorbed by chlorophyll that can be found in the chloroplast. Oxygen that are produced by plant is actually a waste product. During the process of CO2 from the air and H2O from the soil, it is being converted into oxygen and glucose. Glucose is a sugar that can be used by plant for respiration process or can be converted into insoluble starch. Why photosynthesis is important? Photosynthesis is important because it provides food for all, because also photosynthesis is part of primary producers of food chain, also essential for plant to sustain their life, and plant is main source of oxygen and energy of all living organism. Also help growth and development of plant, can produce organic molecules which is glucose and inorganic molecule which is CO2 and oxygen. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast, mainly located at mesophyll cell. Each mesophyll cell has approximately 20 to 100 chloroplasts. What are chloroplasts? Chloroplast is a site of photosynthesis in plant, which is contain green pigment which are known as chlorophyll that can absorb energy from sunlight. There are two kinds of chlorophyll, which is A and B. Chlorophyll A only absorb red and blue light, which is primary pigment in plant, and chlorophyll B only absorb blue light with that transmitted green light. Energy that used to convert CO2 and H2O Energy used to convert CO2 and H2O into glucose and oxygen. Chlorophyll is embedded in thylakoid. Thylakoid is like a disc shape that are arranged into stack. Thylakoid membrane is an internal membrane that arranged in flattened sacs. Grana is a sac of thylakoid membrane. Stroma is a semi-liquid substance that surrounding around the thylakoid membrane. Photosynthesis can be divided into two, which is light-dependent reaction and light-independent reaction, also known as Kelvin cycle. Light-dependent reaction is an energy-fixing reaction, happen when light energy is captured and pushed into chemical reaction called ATP that have their functioning to reduce an ADP plus into an ADPH. Light independent, which is Kelvin cycle, is a carbon fixing reaction. Use ATP and NADPH to synthesize the organic molecules. There are two stages of photosynthesis. First stage is light reaction. Light reaction is absorbed by chlorophyll. Energy from light splits the H2O and H from water, functioning to reduce an ADP to an ADPH. Chemiosmosis that make ATP from ADP, which is photophosphorylation. Product of light reaction is energy equals to ATP and NADPH. Byproduct is O2 occurs in thylakoid. Kelvin cycle, also known as dark reaction or light independent reaction. CO2 from the atmosphere enters the chloroplast and incorporated into organic molecule, which is carbon fixation, and ADPH from light reduce the fixed carbon by donating H to carbohydrate. ATP from light reaction required for this step to a product of carbon cycle is glucose, happen in stroma. Light reaction versus dark reaction. The similarities of light reaction and dark reaction is both occur during daytime, both also occur in chloroplasts, and both use enzyme. For light reaction, use sunlight, occurs in grana or thylakoid membrane, use water as substrate, oxygen as product, ATP and ADPH is produced, photolysis process is involved. For dark reaction, doesn't need sunlight, occurs in stroma, CO2 as substrate or fix, glucose as product, CO2 fixation process involved. There are 5 factors that influence rate of photosynthesis. First, light. The most effective light is red and blue. The more light, more photosynthesis can be happen. Plants have various adaptation to absorb sunlight. Next is temperature. Optimum photosynthesis can be happen during 20 to 35 degrees Celsius. High temperature, which is above 40 degrees Celsius and above, will denature the enzyme. Plant in cool region have adaptation for effective photosynthesis below 0 degrees Celsius. For CO2 concentration, direct relationship to CO2 concentration. If CO2 in atmosphere above 0.03%, photosynthesis will occur. If CO2 only up to 1%, rate of photosynthesis will decrease as the stomata close. O2 concentration, higher the O2 concentration of photosynthesis is lower because of the carbon fixation is low, called photorespiration if O2 is higher than CO2. Next is chlorophyll concentration. Chlorophyll quantity is reduced when plant is infected or lack a mineral. Leaf will turn yellow and photosynthesis rate will reduce.